to Refuse to Lose. My name is Joe Jordan. I'm your host. I have my good friend Mark with me for this seventh episode of the weekend special. So excited about it. So it's gonna be us two today. We're gonna talk about some NFL. Once again, we have three marquee games coming up this weekend that we're gonna talk about, predict. And the first game we're gonna talk about is our hometown team, Washington football team versus Ron Rivera's former team, the Carolina Panthers, with the renewed rebirth Cam Newton. So Mark, let's talk about that game. What do you expect, and give me your prediction for that game as far as the score.
All right, let's see. So I am I'm biased, so I'm definitely picking Washington to win this game. But that's because I'm a Washington fan. But saying that no mean we don't. We have problems and issues still that we got to correct. Washington is coming off a big win against Tampa Bay, the former Super Bowl champs. And we did okay offensive wise. It was Taylor Heineke's best game, but I feel like we can do better than what we did. That was a stout defense they played. Carolina has, like in my opinion, probably going to finish probably top three defenses in the league. So they have a whole slew of cornerbacks. They got Stephon Gilmore, and he won't even be checking the best receiver because their cornerbacks are so good. So Deontay Jackson and Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin always get the best of the best cornerbacks in the league anyway. So, I mean, that's going to be a matchup to look out for. Antonio Gibson versus Panthers D-line. It's going to be another matchup to look out for. Offensive-wise. Defensive-wise, Washington has to stop Carolina. I don't think they're going to open up the playbook because this is Cam Newton's second week. Matt Rule is not Ron Rivera. They do not have the same offensive coordinator they had. So it's not like they're going to open up the playbook that much for Cam Newton, but Washington has to get stops on third down. They cannot allow them to get in third and short, third and two, third and one situation. Because if they do, it's going to be almost impossible for them to stop Cam Newton from running, quarterback sneaking in 1 or 2 yards or handing the ball on to Christian McCaffrey, he's back. I'm going to put it like that. Christian McCaffrey's back. Washington's not bad, actually, in the run game. So in order for Washington to win, they have to force Cam to win the game for him. He has to throw the ball. If they stop everything on the ground and force Cam to throw it, I feel like we should be able to win this game. But we have to get up. The defense has to get up the field. I'm predicting. I think the final score, probably gonna be like 17-24, or 17-23, 17-22. It's gonna be around that, 17-24. It's gonna be a touchdown game. It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a tough game, and it's gonna be a defensive game, in my opinion. I think it's gonna be interceptions on both sides, turnovers on both sides. I don't think either team is legit enough to this is gonna be a victory for this team. Nothing's guaranteed on this week. So Washington's coming off the best game of the season defensive wise. Kendall Fuller had one of the highest graded cornerbacks in the league this last week. Well, everybody was making plays last week. It's like everybody stepped up. With Landon Collins playing linebacker, maybe if he would start at linebacker at the beginning of the season, he might be a Pro Bowl, a Pro Bowl player. So it's just like Washington is building off momentum. They're a second half team. They've been a second half team since I was a fan, and it's been 3 decades. So they're not really hot starting off. So they are a second half team, even second half of the season and second half of the game. That's when they play their best ball. So that's how I'm finishing with that one.
Okay, cool. So you picking Washington. You said the score is what again?
I'm gonna say 17-24.
17-24. So about a touchdown.
Yeah, it's gonna be close.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. So now when I look at this game, I look at, I believe Washington listen, I can't get biased too. All right. Washington football team, that's my team, but I don't want to be biased because what happens is when I get biased and then I get disappointed. I fall right in my face on Sunday and then I feel like I wasted my whole Sunday, but I'm going to try my hardest not to be biased. So now the Washington football team offense is better. It's better than the Panthers, And like you said, Cam Newton has been inserted into the quarterback style line or whatever. And a lot of people were excited about last week, but all he did was score in 2 goal line plays. I mean, he didn't drive him down the field. He didn't do nothing spectacular to me, So now the Panthers' strength on offense is their run game. All right. And then when I look at the Washington football team, like you said, our strength on defense is the run defense. You look at our last three games, we haven't allowed now one 50-yard rusher in the last three games. So which is good. And I think a lot of that got to do with our passing game is terrible, But the good thing about last week was the best recipe to help our defense is time of possession. Is when our offense is on the field longer. You want to you want to keep the worst part of your team, which is the defense, off the field the least. So that's gonna be key right here. I think that the Washington football team has to win that. They got to win at the time of possession. They got to play keep away from Cam Newton because it's not like we're afraid of Cam Newton, but you want to protect your defense by keeping them off the field as much as possible. And as far as our defense, it's terrible. Now we did play great last week. It's been some restructuring in the defense. They put, like you said, put Landon Collins at the linebacker position, like they should have done early in the year. And it's like what they're doing there, they're making plays at timely moments, and they're creating turnover. So if they can do that, that'll be good too. But we talking about defense, the Panthers got a legit defense. What's been killing their defense is their offense. Their offense hasn't been playing up the par. So I'm going to predict that I don't think Cam Newton's going to have a great game. Like he said, his first game, he don't even know the whole offense yet. I know the team was excited, but I don't think they're going to carry over to this game and have the same thing they had with the Cardinals. So I'm going to pick Washington too. I'm going to pick Washington also, but I'm going to pick this game to be 20. I got them scoring 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. So the score going to be 20-14. 20-14. I got to watch the football team creating some turnovers. I got to be in a close game towards the end. I got, so like the Panthers having their last chance of scoring on the final drive, but I don't think Cam Newton and crew gonna be able to do that. So I'm gonna pick Washington too, and hopefully I'm right. So that's that. All right, let's go to the next game. So I kick this one off. So next game we're gonna talk about the Steelers versus the Chargers. Now this is a Sunday night game, I believe. And this game right here, I'm not a big fan of the Chargers. I know I've been saying that to y'all for the longest. I'm not a big fan of the Chargers of Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert has potential, but he's just not there yet. People are anointing him like he's already there. He's not there. He has a lot of raw talent, but he makes a lot of mistakes. Now, but what I will say, I have the Chargers win this game. I got the Chargers beating the Steelers, because the Chargers, they had a bad stretch these last 3 games. They only had one good game, and that was against Philly. But that's Philly, that's Philadelphia, and that was a nail biter. They lost bad, that last week game was terrible. They lost bad to the Patriots. I mean, they look horrendous in their losses. But when I look at the Steelers, you never know offensively what you're gonna get from the Steelers. The Steelers rely on a defense, so the defense has to perform at a high level. And I just think the Chargers are not going to go back-to-back weeks of having terrible weeks offensively and turn the ball over and taking 2 L's back 2 times in a row. So I'm going to pick the Chargers to win this game. And I think this game is going to be a 2-possession game, like not 2 touchdowns, like a 10-point game, somewhere around like 27-17 or 27-14, like something like that. I don't think Big Ben's going to have a great game because the Chargers defense is pretty okay. It's not bad and it's not great, but it's pretty good. It would be pretty good against this Pittsburgh Steelers offense, So, and I don't think Najee Harris is going to do great because the thing about the Steelers, they have a good receiving core. They just got the wrong quarterback throwing the ball, and they have Najee Harris, who the teams who comes to play the Steelers, they focus on Najee Harris. So. And I think the Chargers are going to do a great job against him. And I think Justin Herbert is going to do a great job. The only thing is TJ Watt. TJ Watt is the only guy I'm worrying about, because when Justin Herbert is pressured, he looks terrible. He makes terrible throws on 3rd and 4th down when he's pressured. But for some reason, I just think Austin Eckler, he's going to bounce back. He had a bad game last game. And I think Keenan Allen's going to have a good game. I think he's going to have about like a 11 to 12 catch game over 100 yards against the Steelers team. So I'm picking the Chargers to win this game. I'm going to say 27-17. 27-17.
Okay. I like the pick because I also got the Chargers winning this game. Reason being is because honestly, I'm not sure if Ben is even playing this game. I know TJ Watt might not play this game as well. I know he got dinged up last week, which was still is actually their best defensive game. They held Jared Goff to 114 yards. Their best defensive game. But prior to that, still his pass defense is not it's not good at all. So I feel like the last three or 4 weeks, Justin Herbert had like a 75 quarterback rating, which is not good. I feel like Justin Herbert is a lot better than that. He showed that he was a lot better than that. He is having a slump, but I think this is the week that he actually gets out of it. Um, Instead of Keenan Allen having that great game with 11 catches, I think it's going to go back to the way it was in the beginning of the season. Like that formula actually works when Mike Williams was the prime receiver. When he was getting 10, 11 targets, he was beasting out. So I think they go back to that recipe and try to get Mike Williams more involved because I mean even since his Clemson days, Mike Williams always been like the big man on a big man on campus. I'm a big fan of Mike Williams actually. I feel like the Chargers, their run off, they have a really good run offense. Ross to Eckler, they have a good pass. Let me say pass to run, like not even pass to run, but like passing out the backfield, passing to the backfield. Also, Eckler's an excellent receiver out the backfield. So I think this is the week that Justin Herbert bounced back and come back with his 102-point quarterback rating like he should be getting every game like I want him to. Let me see. Final score, I got Chargers 27. I got Steelers 20. It's gonna be another touchdown game. I think it's gonna be a little closer than what you think it is. I think Justin Herbert will have a really, really good game. I don't think I think Najee Harris have a really good game as well, even though they is gonna focus on him. They is gonna focus in on him, but I do think he get over 100 yards rushing this week because everybody know that Big Ben is not where he used to be, and I'm even not sure if he's playing. Especially if he's not playing, you got Dwayne Haskins playing. He's not gonna have the ball in his hands too much, so that's Najee might still do something. Let's see. Yeah, they
I'm
don't
not a
have.
big fan of Mike Williams.
You're not a big fan of Mike Williams? I am. I really like Mike Williams. Ever since he was at Clemson, like that made I really am a big fan of Mike Williams. He's a big man out there. If he
Yeah,
can actually,
yeah, I
I don't know.
think he has.
Last 3 weeks he hasn't been as good as he should have been, but like prior to that he has been like I thought he was gonna get like comeback player of the year type stuff the way he was playing at the beginning of the season. So I
See,
just
go ahead.
no, I was about to stop done.
See, he reminds me of Jared Cook, his tight end. You know what I mean? They both talented, like they got talent, but they not consistent at all. And Jared Cook, that's how his whole career been. Like he's been inconsistent like crazy. Like he's a good talent. You know what I mean? He has moments here and there, but he's never been considered one of the best tight ends because he's not consistent. And Mike Williams is the same way. Keenan Allen is consistent every single game. He brings it every single game. You know, but Mike Williams, on the other hand, he be having like he had that one. The last good game he had was against the Browns. That's when he had that game, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, Mike Williams!" And then since then, he's been quiet.
But
He's
the
been
thing is,
quiet since then.
they've been targeting Keenan Allen, and because they've been targeting Keenan Allen, they've been losing. So I just wanted to go back to the way they was in the beginning of the season. They target Mike Williams, Keenan Allen gonna be open regardless because he's probably one of the best route runners in the league anyway. But once they started targeting Keenan Allen more, and the offense started to decline. Not saying it's like Keenan Allen's fault, but they focus in on it. So I feel like they should go back to what they was doing at the beginning of the season because that's what they were successful, really successful. So
Okay.
that's what I got with that one.
So 27-20.
27-20. Yeah.
All right. So we go out this last game, and this is a game of the week. This is a game I believe everybody's going to tune into, and this is we have the Dallas Cowboys visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. All right. So you can kick this one off. Tell me about this is a marquee matchup. Both of these teams are coming off of great wins, two blowouts. You know, Cowboys blew out the Falcons. the Chiefs blew out the Raiders, and they both have high expectations going forward now. So tell me what you think about this game.
So I am I hate the Cowboys, but it is I gotta give respect to where respect is due. Cowboys one of the best teams in the league this year. Like they are hands down. Dak is playing great. The running game is playing great. The Chiefs are you don't know which Chiefs you're gonna get. You don't know if you're gonna get the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes throw 3 picks, or you don't know if you're gonna get the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes throw 3 touchdowns. You don't know. But the thing about the difference between these two teams is they both have high power offenses. But Dallas defense is better than the Chiefs defense. I think Dallas can stop the Chiefs, but the Chiefs cannot stop Dallas. So it's going to be a shootout. Um, Dak will throw for 300 yards, and they will rush for 150 plus yards. I really they're going to it's going to be a high offensive shootout on this game. Um, I don't think the Chiefs going to run for like 80 yards. I think Patrick Mahomes might throw for 400 yards though. But that's their recipe. They know they're not heavy on the run game, and everyone knows they're not heavy on the run game. That's why they try to get their receivers in on the run game and everything, try to get people the ball in their hands. But they're gonna try to put the ball in like they're gonna force Pat Mahomes to win the game. And if you do, that means you got to force the receivers to catch the ball. Pat Mahomes having played bad this season, all his interceptions, he had 10 picks this season, and 10 picks. I'm gonna say maybe 4 of them are his fault. All his picks is off his receivers. They hitting their hands and jumping in the air, tip drills. So I think it's going to be a close game, but a high scoring game. It's going to be like 80 points between the two of these teams. I feel like final score might be 35-42, 35-21, or 35-28. It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a good one. Might be 34-35. That could be it. It's gonna come down to a game winning drive. Will not be a blowout. But I think Dallas offense is too much for the Chiefs defense. And I don't think the Chiefs offense is going to be too much for Dallas defense. Um, I feel like once you stop Travis Kelce and you force, Tyreek Hill to catch the ball every time you target him, they have a recipe to win the game. But if Travis Kelce get targeted 12 times and he get like 12 catches, the Chiefs got a big chance to win this game because their tight ends probably their best option on offense. Last week, Pat threw for 406 yards. This week, he gonna throw for 400 yards again. I think Dak gonna throw for 350, 3 touchdowns. It's gonna be a Zeke gonna run for 100 yards. It's gonna be this gonna be a good game right here. I really this gonna be a high scoring game. Dallas offense gonna be too much for the Chiefs defense. So I'm gonna say final score gonna be 35-32. That's it. It's gonna be a field goal game. It's gonna be come off to a game winning drive.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at with that one.
Okay, so look, all right. Now look, a lot of people feel like this game is gonna be like the Chiefs against the Rams. I think Patrick Mahomes MVP season when the Chiefs played the Rams and they were like scoring like almost every drive. So for some reason, Mark, I think like I don't think it's gonna be a hot like a back and forth game like that. I don't think that. I think both defense will step up this game. For some reason, I just feel that way. And by the way, Patrick Mahomes' first 6 games, he threw 8 interceptions. His last 4 games, he only threw 2. All right, so he's picking. And last 2 games, he hasn't thrown none. So he's picking it up his interception rate. But anyways, we're bringing it down, I should say. Um, I think that this game is gonna be like I'm not gonna say more of a defensive battle, but we're gonna have way more defense than everybody expects. I believe that. But I do think it's gonna be a part of the game, like a good 5 minutes, that it's gonna be like touchdown, touchdown, touchdown because of maybe turnovers or quick scores, and then it's gonna look like it's a shootout, but it wasn't. It was gonna be like it was a quick sequence of just quick scoring. But most of the game is gonna be a defensive battle, I believe. So if the Cowboys could pull this win out, this would be a good marquee win for them. Because you look at their schedule, they don't really have a statement win. Their statement win is against the Chargers. But look, we all know how the Chargers look recently. You know what I mean? The Chargers not who they are, who we think we are. They are. They are catching the Chiefs at a good place for the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs are like they're peaking up. They just blew out the number one. They blew out the Raiders, 41-14, I think. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They're on an all-time high. Everybody's excited. So they could knock out the Chiefs right now. That would be a good win for Dallas. And then vice versa. The Chiefs, they haven't really beaten a team that people feel like is a Super Bowl contender. You know what I mean? So they beat up the Raiders, but people don't really trust the Raiders. You know? So, and then they beat Green Bay, but that's without Aaron Rodgers. So they haven't really played a beat. So if they beat Dallas, then that's going to put a stamp on the Chiefs. So this game weighs a lot for both sides. So the score is going to be 28. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a game where they're going to score a lot. It's going to be 28-24 Chiefs. The Chiefs going to win this game. All right? Because look, before the season started, I said the Chiefs going to, had no one seed, blah, blah. And then when they start losing, I was like, they're going to pick it up. So I'm going to stick by that. And I have the Chiefs literally going on a massive winning streak going forward. I'm not saying they're going to win all their games, but I got them winning, going on at least like a 6-game winning streak, something like that. And they might take an L on that 7th game. Right? But I'm picking the Chiefs because the Chiefs defense recently, I know their opponents hasn't been that good. And the Cowboys, both of their defense have been playing great recently. Besides, you just erased that Broncos game, of course. But recently, the defense has been playing good. But I know you said the Cowboys defense is better. I don't think that because think about that. Randy Gregory's gone. He's not playing. You know what I mean? And he's their biggest pass rusher. So and then they still don't have DeMarcus Lawrence, which I don't think he's that good, really. Right? He's overrated. But the thing is, their pass rush is good when they have a lead. When they let's think about the Cowboys. You have to when the Cowboys get a lead on you, their defense is way more confident. They could play much better, play more relaxed. But when they're playing from behind, that's when the Cowboys are in trouble. That's when they pass more and their defense they get torched because they got to focus on a run and a pass. But when they're playing when they're ahead, most teams is focused on the pass, right? So I think the Chiefs are going to have Patrick Mahomes have a good game. He might have a turnover. I think he will outplay Dak Prescott, of course. I do think Zeke will have an okay game. I don't think he will rush 100 yards, Mark. That's my opinion. I don't think Zeke going to have 100 yards. Like I said, it's going to be a defensive battle, and I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win 28-24. 4-game winning streak.
Well, I don't know. I think Dallas going to run for 200 yards. I don't trust the Chiefs defense at all.
Yeah.
Not one bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing about it. I just don't trust their defense at all. And I trust Dallas defense more than I would trust their defense. They got, even with Chandler Parsons rushing the quarterback, like Randy Gregory wouldn't be, he good, but like Chandler Parsons he started rushing the quarterback, like he gets back there every time. Every time I feel like he rushes the quarterback, he gets the hit. Rather he impacts the play somehow. So I feel like that's going to be more, he's going to have more of an impact on the game on the defensive end. It's going to force Mahomes to throw early a lot. And him throwing early, receivers not going to be on, the timing is not going to be right. Therefore, might hit the hands, tip drill, pick. Like and he's always on the right spot at the right time. So it's because he might not even play good defense. He's just always in the right spot. The ball just comes. But that's the making of a good cornerback. You're a magnet.
But the Cowboys, they played Tom Brady. But outside of Tom Brady, which quarterback? It's only a few quarterbacks: Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. That's probably it. You know what I mean? On that level. So
Dak.
when they who?
Dak.
No. I'm talking about outside of Cowboys. And I don't think Dak was on their level. Dak has one of the best receiving corps in the NFL.
Dak had a quarterback rating than Tom Brady.
Yeah, he said what?
When he was with the Patriots, he had a higher quarterback rating when he was with the Patriots. Dak is really.
Dak is he's playing good, but he has a good situation. He has a great running game, and he has a great receiving corps. So the teams come into the dollars not even focus on you. They focus on Zeke and Pollard. And then on top of that, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Mark Garland who just came back, you got Amari Cooper to throw the ball to on one-on-one coverage every time. Like think about it. Like that's easy. It's a piece of cake. So not saying it's easy because in the NFL.
You trust the Chiefs defense to be that good to stop that. That's the only. I
But
don't trust it.
I was about to say Dallas when they play a quarterback at Patrick Mahomes level, Tom Brady. You saw what he did to that defense, that back end defense. You know, like they haven't really played a quarterback. I know people say Justin Herbert, but Justin Herbert, look at him. Like he's inconsistent like crazy.
The thing is, Dallas didn't win that game. The Chargers lost that game.
Yeah,
That
there's
wasn't.
them two penalties. Your boy Jared Cook, you
No,
know.
Dallas didn't win that game. The Chargers lost that.
But Justin Herbert took a bad sack that cost them. Like, I'm not gonna blame. I'm not gonna like Justin Herbert inconsistent, dude. Like that was a bad sack he took when he backed up like 20 yards when they was on the goal line and they could have got a touchdown. So he messed that up. And they haven't really played nobody like Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, I think he's gonna pick apart that defense. You know what I mean? That's why I think he'll have a better game than that. Now Zeke will have an okay game, which will be a better game than any running back the Chiefs got. But I don't think he's gonna rush 100 yards because Dak and them not gonna be having the lead this whole game. I think the Chiefs are gonna take the lead, and Dak it's gonna be like that. So they're not gonna be in the driver's seat of this game, in my opinion. So and they playing in Kansas City. They're playing in Kansas City. So
yeah, they are playing in Kansas City. They are playing, but the thing is, Zeke runs for 100. If they even if they're down, they get the run game going early. And Zeke is really, he churning 5 yards a carry, 6 yards a carry. If they get that done, even if they're down, they're going to continue with that run game. And
that's not the Cowboys' history.
If he turns 6 yards a carry, 5 yards a carry, then I think it's going to be back and forth. Like Chiefs get the ball first, they score. Dallas get the ball, they score. Chiefs get the ball, they score. Dallas get the ball, they score. Chiefs might get a stop. Dallas might score again. Then Dallas might get a stop, and then Chiefs might score. I think it's gonna be closer to where it's not gonna be to where it's like they're winning to the point where you gotta abandon the run game. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's. I think they're gonna score back to back. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game.
So
like 7 points with both teams.
So you said the score was 30. Your score again?
Said it was gonna be 35-32.
Right there too. All right.
Yeah. I got Zeke scoring a touchdown. I got Dak throwing for 3. Zeke got 2 touchdowns. Goal line situation. So I don't think they're gonna kick any field goals. I think
you got Zeke 150 yards.
No, I got the run game 150 yards. I got Dak throwing for 350 plus. Yeah, Dak can, and the thing is, I don't doubt that Dak can do that because Dak can throw with the best of them. He could throw for 500 yards for a game, but they might not win. That's the only thing when Dak throws like that. But there's gonna be a shootout. Dak throw for high numbers. They don't usually win. But like there's gonna be a good
when he threw high numbers.
One game.
That's Mac Jones.
Because I know he threw for like 400 yards early this season, lost the game. So it's he can throw it, and he can throw against anybody. I don't think anybody can really, if they really like try to throw the ball, he can throw the ball to anybody. They do have the receivers, and they do have the running back to stack the box. They have to stack the box because of the running back, their running game in general. So they have to stack the box, and then you got one-on-one, like you said with CD. You got, I don't know who number 1 is on their team, but he's a monster. Number 19 is Amari.
No, who the number 1 receiver?
No, number 1. I don't know number 1.
That's Wilson, right?
Wilson, Cedric Wilson. He's all right. And then
he's playing good, but Mark Garland is back, so he gonna fill in back into that role.
I mean, they're gonna put Michael Gallup. He's gonna come in slow. He's not gonna have like as many snaps. I think Cedric Wilson's gonna have more snaps, but they probably the same amount. But he's gonna have more of an impact than Gallup will probably.
Yeah,
but Gallup might come back and might throw bombs. They got some speed on the receiving core. They got some speed on that. So I feel like they should be all right. I think. Yeah, it's gonna be one-on-one coverage, and I don't trust none of their cornerbacks against none of their receivers on one-on-one coverage.
Yeah, I just
he gonna have his hands full with the tight end because he's not sweet neither. Jarwin James, what's his name? Jarwin. Yeah. So yeah, he gonna have his hands full with him. So it's gonna be hard for him to help against the receiver. Blake Jarwin, yeah. So he's gonna have his hands full with him. So it's gonna be hard for him to help anything outside behind him. So I got Dallas winning this. If the Chiefs step up and just shut me up, okay, but I don't think they will because I don't think they have it in them. It's an Andy Reid team. Andy Reid only was good when he had Brian Dawkins. He was the Eagles. Outside of that, their defense never was the Chiefs' defense. Andy Reid never really had good defenses unless he had Brian Dawkins. But outside of that, that was it. Like, but he should be all right. That's why he wanted Teron Matthew so bad. That's why he wanted a staple at safety. He wanted another Brian Dawkins, but he's not Brian Dawkins. You can say whatever you want about the Honey Badger.
Honey Badger is not Brian Dawkins.
He's not Brian Dawkins, so he's not gonna have that type of impact that Brian Dawkins did. So then that defense never gonna be as good as that team that he had. But the team that he had, great defense, he couldn't win a Super Bowl.
Honey man, the Chiefs. Streak them out.
Yeah, the Chiefs. I think they're going to after this game. I think they're going to win out. I don't think they're going to lose again after this. But I think this is going to be a toughest game.
They need this game. They haven't beaten the Mark. They lost to They lost to the Ravens. They lost to the Titans. They lost to the Chargers. They lost to Chargers. You know what I mean? So they haven't beaten
a good team for real.
Good team. They need.
But the thing is, it don't matter during the season because playoffs is different. If they can get in the playoffs, that's when teams really turn up. Defenses change, offenses change, and that really show you what you made of. Tampa Bay playing the way they playing right now, but they could be the best team defensive-wise, or the LA Rams could be the best team defensive-wise, even though they're not playing good during the season.
That's true.
Playoff defense is totally different than like regular season.
That is true.
It's a different story.
That's true.
But if all I got to do is get to the postseason, they get to the postseason, it's a chance they can still be the Chiefs, you know. But that's all it's all Doctor Strange from there. It's all predictability.
All right, cool. All right, then we're gonna leave it like that. So there I go. Those are our picks for the 3 marquee games of this week. Appreciate you, Mark, for coming on again, second time being on the show. Appreciate that, and we'll definitely have Mark back on. Talking some basketball this time, though. Next time,
what?
NBA. So we're gonna talk about NBA next time with Mark. But thank y'all for staying to the end. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next episode.